Okay, so I'm back. So pardon me, it's going to be in two sections because I had an error. I don't know what the heck happened. But anyway, I was in the middle of spotlighting Mr. Marlon Wayans. Um, Basically, the brother is a stand-up brother, and I want to give him his roses while he's here. And he's definitely a credit to us the way he carries and conducts himself and maneuvers as a businessman and entertainer in the industry. He's been there for so many firsts. He's seen a whole lot of people at the beginning stages of their career. Being on In Living Color, he got to work with so many people. Doing his own movies at an early age. Just been just a living inspiration, a living the dream, what living the dream looks like. Very blunt, to the point, um, as well as like modest and meek at the same time. So, give a Narrative Podcast round of applause for Mr. Marlon Wayans. Today was just I don't know what the heck happened, y'all. I don't know what the heck happened. Today just been a whole darn fool. All right. Now my next section is the speaking section, and in this section, what I'm doing is I'm addressing current breaking news, um, either locally, globally, or news directly involving us, our community, the original people. And the reason why I'm doing that is to, unpack it from our perspective because the medias have us looking and sounding crazy. So, basically accurately tell our stories instead of having our stories told for us because history has taught us anything. If it hasn't taught us nothing at all, um, is to tell your own story or you will have your story told for you. And that's exactly what, the colonizers have been doing, since, they've been around, is recording our stories inaccurately in history. So, we got to take that narrative at any given time. So some breaking news I want to recover. I'm really kind of conflicted about this headline, but I'm gonna try to dissect it as much as possible. The death of 28-year-old Ivo Itome, Itone. He's definitely African, so I'm pretty sure he's like Nigerian. But essentially, he was at I guess like a mental institution at a hospital somewhere in like Virginia, and he got tackled to the floor and hostily detained um, to the point of death. So like he wasn't having a spaz out attack. He wasn't refusing to do whatever they did was doing in that facility. He wasn't like resisting whatever thing they was telling him to do, but for some odd reason, he got tackled to the ground and now he's dead. And it's sad. It seems to be becoming an increasing trend that we are the ones killing each other when we get into these positions. Because, like, there was over a dozen people, law enforcement and facilitators of that hospital involved, and a large portion of them were original people, black, aka black, us. Like a large portion of that, you know, goes to us. And we just got through in a situation where it's our people with the Memphis, Tennessee department, police department, abusing their authority. And so, like, I'm conflicted because, like, I don't know what kind of angle to approach this because, like, there was a few of us, but there was a lot of Caucasian people involved in it too, and they've all been, under investigation now and have been charged with this death. So, but of course, on all the news outlets, you're only seeing the pictures of the black people. You're not seeing all the white people involved that's being charged as well. So I'm thinking like this is a gross misrepresentation, misuse of power, obviously. Um, so many things going on in this story. The proper training. Evidently, nobody had the proper training. Evidently, nobody involved in this situation on the law enforcement side that wasn't using their law enforcement training for detain a hostile person. Nobody on the hospital end, wasn't using their training to deal with an irate, person, a resident. I forgot the word what they call in the hospital, residents. So, it's faulty on both sides of it. And it's really sad because it's another young, original man that dies with a question mark, like what would have happened if this person wouldn't have died? He's 28 years old, literally can go like in any direction in life. So now we're never going to know what he was going to be in life because he's dead. Because people wasn't, properly trained to do their jobs. And it's sad because it was like so many of us, they get to positions. I don't know what happens in the training, like when you transition from training to actually being in the field, like do you get lazy, like right when you get in the field? If you're a lazy person, you should not be in law enforcement or in healthcare. Because that's in both of those professions, you can kill somebody. Like if you don't want to do it, don't do it. That's not the job for you. If you know you like to slack off and you're lazy, law enforcement and healthcare is not for you. If you're not diligent and hardworking and earnest, stay away from them two professions. That's not for you. You have to have long committed hours, have to be passionate and driven and care about people to be in either one of those professions. And if that's not you, then don't waste everybody's time by being a police officer or being in healthcare. That's all I really got to say about that. I don't know. I don't know on that one, y'all. Like it's really sad. But I will say, like, I will play up that point. I don't like how the media, there were Caucasian people involved in, this case. But for some reason, trending everywhere online, only the faces of, the black people being charged with the crime of his death are being shown. Like the white officers and the white healthcare professionals, their faces aren't being shown on the media. Like they're arrested, they're in custody too, but their faces aren't being shown anywhere on any media outlets. All right. So on my next section is the health and wellness section. But before I dive into that section, I just want to take this brief little time to, um, you know, I had a little brief oversight. Just I want to take this little time to correct something about something that I always say when I see it online. Let me see if I got it in the notes. Okay. So like we just recently had, a few events that happened at the Oscars that I spoke on. One was the Sierra dress, and then the other one, I think, Angela Bassett. They said she had a grimace on her face, just trying to talk for Angela Bassett, going to tell her what's wrong with her. But anyway, I often say when I see our people getting disgruntled about the Oscars, the first thing out of my mouth usually is, why do we care? You know, it's not our award show. It's a statue of a white man. It's a white people's award show. But came across some new information, some new knowledge that I had no previous knowledge of before. The Oscars is based on a black man. That statue is supposed to be a black man, an original man. Yeah, that's what the statue is. It's named after a man named, let me see, Oscar Micheaux. So Oscar Micheaux, originally he started off as a book writer. Before that, he was like a sharecropper, a homesteader, whatever a homesteader is. I'm still researching what a homesteader is, but he was a homesteader, and then he started writing books like in the 19th century, so like this the early 1900s, like way back when they had silent films. He had started writing books before then, but then he started writing and producing and directing silent films. And the silent films they currently had, of course, anytime we was in it, it was always something stereotypical. It was always something nonsensical. In Oscar Micheaux's films, we were, he depicted us regularly, like regular, ordinary people, not, the stereotypical tropes in that time era. And he did a whole lot of films. So, maybe, our older people like Angela Bassett and Samuel Jackson and Denzel Washington, they probably already had that knowledge. That's probably why it's so important to them to show up and to actually get nominated and win. But I didn't have any knowledge of that. So I wanted to just take that time to correct myself. Thank you, Mr. Micheaux. Because without him, there would be no Oscar award show, no Oscar Academy, no Oscar Academy panel. So, that is our show. So like so many things that were once ours organically, it got stolen from us and refurbished and rebranded as something else. But so the Oscars really is our thing. My bad. All right, so now on to the health and wellness section. The health and wellness section. In this section, what it is designed to do is to chronicle total body health and wellness for our people, mentally, physically, and spiritually. The reason why I'm doing this section is to, help us have a prosperous life, giving tips on how to have a prosperous life, because we're being attacked mentally, physically, and spiritually, and we got to armor up in all those areas. So in this section, what you will hear is, on the physical side, I usually give you the health benefits of a fruit, vegetable, plant, herb, extract, or elixir to make you, more healthy, more potent, have a vital, strong immune system, stay, healthy, active, and fit, and physically. And then mentally, keep your mental state up, things you can do to stay in perfect mental health. Because mental health is actually, is more attributed to your overall health than what you're taking into your body, like eating and stuff, like your thoughts, because, your thoughts manifest into things. This is why they call, illnesses diseases, because they happen when your mind is at dis-ease. So when you're thinking negative thoughts, when you're thinking, bad things, it's going to come in the form of some type of ailment. It's going to come in the form, in regards to our people, it's going to come in the form, your dis-ease is going to come in the form of gout. It's going to come in the form of high blood pressure. It's going to come into the form of, type 1, type 2 diabetes. So you got to get your mental health up as well. Also, I cover, spiritual aspect. I'll talk about spiritual things. And then, on occasion, I might talk about metaphysical things on this section. But all of them are required to, maneuver and maintain a healthy, active, fit lifestyle. So, that's what it's all about, because we're being attacked in all, of those areas. Not only that, they're putting things in our food, in our air, in our water, and things we use on a daily basis, household cleaning products and hygiene products that affects our unique genetic makeup. And like it affects us, it's targeted at us, to destroy our melanin, to, throw off our, unique cellular composition. Like these mad scientists up in the labs whipping up stuff to like literally eradicate us. So we got to be diligent and stay on the path. So that's what my health and wellness section is about. And on to the health and wellness tip of the day. I'm going to talk about the cleanse. Now, why the cleanse is so important, oh, did I get it? Oh, did I do it? Oh, I guess I didn't. Did I put in the notes? I guess I did not. But anyway, so a cleanse is basically something essentially you need to do at least one time a month. At least one time a month. A cleanse is actually, people confuse a cleanse and a detox. A detox is a one-time, administering things to help you get out all the bile and the gunk that's caked up inside of you. A cleanse is actually like a daily regimen. This is like training. This is like weight training your body from the inside. This is to teach it how to break down all the, sugars and the fats and the nutrients and all that. This is basically like clean eating. That's, hence the term cleanse. You're cleansing your body from the inside. This is getting rid of the gunk. This is getting rid of all that bile, all that stuff you get caked up on the inside of your stomach wall from digesting and eating processed foods. overeating, deep fried foods. This is a slow accumulation and a buildup. And a cleanse is just basically like it's brushing your teeth. Like you brush your teeth every day, right? I hope you brush your teeth every day. Um, it's like that. That's what you're doing when you're cleansing. You're cleaning up from the inside. You're getting rid of all that gunk. Um, and so when you're pushing out all this excess waste out of you, you're freeing up your body to do what it's designed to do. You're going to feel lighter on your feet. You're going to think more clearly, your thoughts more clearly. You're going to manage your emotions better. You're going to think more cognitive. You're going to have more dexterity, like more mobility, more manual dexterity. Uh, your range of motion is going to improve. You're not going to have joint pain because you're going to be like firing on all cylinders. So you're not going to be walking funny. So you won't have like too much pressure on your knees and your ankles because everything will be in balance and flowing and moving correctly because you're cleansing. You're getting rid of all them toxins. You're getting rid of all those, all that bile, all those secretions that don't need to be up inside of you. You're getting rid of all those accumulations of free radicals. I already talked about free radicals. If you don't know what free radicals is, do your Googles on it. You don't want that in your body. But yeah, a detox is basically like, it's like a one-shot deal. A detox is like cleaning up after the cleanse. So like whatever's left in there after the cleanse, that's what you want the detox for, to get just the detox is basically like the squeegee. You're just getting rid of the stuff that the cleanse didn't get rid of. But definitely need to cleanse thoroughly and at least one time a month. But cleansing is a regimen, and it will help you exponentially. Your life, your physical health will just get so much better. Your skin will become clearer. Your hair get better. You just have a natural sheen and a glow to you. You'll feel better. You won't always be in a defunct mood. So yeah, you'll smell better too. So cleanse thoroughly. And that'll do it for the health and wellness section of the Narrative Podcast. And now on to my very last section of the Narrative Podcast. Before I come to that section, I just want to say assalamu alaikum to all my Muslim family. Because, as we know, and I just, ended, that's a perfect segue to that. Ramadan started on March 21st, and this is like the, religion in Islam where they're building up their spiritual discipline by dry fasting for 30 days and praying 5 times a day. So, salute anybody participating in Ramadan. I think the longest I ever went on a dry fast is like 8 days. I broke after day 8, but I might, wait, 21st. What are you on? What day is it? So they're 21st. They're 5 days into the Ramadan. I might jump in there next week. So not only do they, they fast on food, they also fast on bad habits like sex. They're fasting on media, their consumption of media, like their phone and video games and stuff, and just focusing strictly on God, whatever you perceive God to be, whether it's Jesus, whether it's Allah, whether it's frequency, vibration, source, whatever you consider God is, that's what Ramadan is supposed to be for, to focus on God. All right, so closing this thing out, thanks you all for listening. Please download this episode and all previously recorded episodes of the Narrative Podcast. Um, so yeah, apologize for this two-part episode. I don't know. I had an equipment failure. It literally just said as I was recording, it said something unforeseen error, something. I got an error message like right while I was recording. So like I had to like reset my equipment and all that. So I don't know. It'd be worthless to email to people because they don't never really fix it. So I'm really kind of shopping around for another audio platform because this is not the first time it's happened. But anyway, final thought of the day. My final thought of the day is just like really a sentiment, something to inspire critical thinking, something that'll resonate with you, a gem, a pearl of wisdom, something to inspire you, or perhaps motivate you, or just something to leave you to ponder. Just a wise thought. My final thought of the day. And the final thought or phrase, sometimes I switch back, sometimes I say final thought or final word. I don't know, whichever the mood strikes. But my final thought of the day, I was thinking about this a lot actually, but as the old saying goes, time heals all wounds. I'm piggybacking off of that, and I've realized that it won't matter next year. I'm real heavy into hip hop. Craig Mack had a song. His one of his biggest hits of his career was "Flavor in Your Ear," and I think the hook went, "You won't be around next year. I'm kicking new flavor in your ear." That was like the hook. So like said all that to say, like it won't matter next year. Like whatever you're going through right now, it's not going to matter next year, whether it's positive or negative. Because we're just here to elevate and be better versions of ourselves than we were the day before, better than the year before. So if you're having a real crappy year, if everything's seeming not to go right for you, if you feel like you've hit your lowest low, it won't matter next year, because how you're feeling right now, it's not even going to matter next year. Like, that's not going to be the problem. You're going to get another problem. Like, that's what we're here for, to experience problems. And once we get over that hump, we'll get over this racial divide too, and realize that we're just spirits having a human experience, because none of this that we're experiencing is real anyway. It's all of the flesh. Your flesh makes it feel real, but it's not real. Your pain's not real. We're eternal. I know all my Christian family's going to be mad at me for that one, but we're eternal. Heaven's already here on earth. You ain't got to die to experience heaven. You ain't got to die to experience hell. You got heaven and hell here on earth, but your experiences, whatever you're going through right now, it's not even going to matter next year, because you're just going to have a new challenge next year. And it's going to keep going up and up and up and up. And there's not going to be a trade-off. It's going to get progressively better, or it's going to get progressively worse, but it all depends on you. On your perception, how you're perceiving the situation. But it's definitely not going to matter next year. So I'm going to leave out here on that note. Thank you for listening to another edition of the Narrative Podcast. I'll be coming back with you next week with another full episode of the Narrative Podcast. I broadcast every single weekend, so don't miss it. Um, I broadcast randomly during the weekday. I never know what days I'm going to broadcast during the weekday. Um, but definitely tune in every single day so you don't miss me when I'm live. And a surefire way not to miss me when I'm live during the weekday is follow me on YouTube. I'm Halsey Allen on YouTube. So follow me on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel and click that notification bell, and you will never miss me when I'm live doing a live feed, because this platform broadcasts directly to YouTube, and they broadcasts directly to Twitter when I'm live. So you can also follow me on Twitter, Halsey Allen on Twitter. And you won't miss me when I'm live doing the Narrative Podcast. I've also written a book of poetry titled The Black Card. If you have not purchased The Black Card, do so now. The Black Card is available for purchase in the Poetizer bookstore on poetizer.com. So go pick that up. It's 30 poems. It's sleek design. It's a really good coffee table read. It's totally portable. You will enjoy it. Go get that. It's called The Black Card. Also support my personal poetry blog titled Halsey's Poetry Corner. It's at www.mrhalseyblogs.com. My tagline is poetry with a passion, poetry for all occasions. When you read one of them, you will find out why. To support my poetry blog, simply go to Halsey's Poetry Corner and share one or all my poems from Halsey's Poetry Corner on all platforms. On your YouTube, on your Facebook, on your Twitter, on your whatever. Share it. And, that'll help me immensely. I haven't posted anything in a really long time. I'm going to get back into the habit of posting. I'm paying for the service. Like it's on the daggone domain. So I've already paid for the domain for this year. So I better get to posting, or I'll just be wasting money. But definitely go support that. Go to Halsey's Poetry Corner and share one or all my poems from Halsey's Poetry Corner to all your various platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, whatever you're active on. Share it, and that'll do it. I'm out of here like last year, y'all. Thanks for listening to the Narrative Podcast. I'll be back with you again this weekend with a full edition of the Narrative Podcast. Tune in regularly for my lives so you won't miss my lives during the weekday. But that's it, and that's all, y'all. Halsey Allen and the Narrative Podcast signing off. And it's like that.
Set your place on fire. Put a little bit of sugar, put a little bit of sugar, got a little bit of gasoline. Put a little bit of sugar.
To the Narrative Podcast with Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.